What is up, people? I am your host, Stephen Kinsella, and welcome to the Live, Live, Play podcast.
You're listening to the Live, Live, Play podcast.
Hey guys, thank you for, firstly, hey guys. Why do I always say hey guys? Don't know, I do it all the time. It's just where it is what I say. So, hey guys, welcome to the show. Today's show is something that I've been thinking about, I've been reading on, and it actually came from inspiration for me, and pretty much it's challenging yourself. And this isn't a new concept by any means. It's not that I'm pioneering anything, but sometimes we don't challenge ourselves we might set a challenge, but we procrastinate on it. We're not ready, we're not prepped, and then we use every excuse to avoid it. And today we're talking about cold showers and running. Firstly, for setting a challenge, right? So why do you set a challenge? It's good to set challenges for personal growth, for something to keep you focused, for mental health, and to put you outside your comfort zone. And to go into that a little bit, and there's tons of books on this and podcasts on this, but this is kind of my take. So firstly, I believe that as a person, you should be always trying to set a goal. And the reason why you should be setting a goal is that you're trying to achieve something every month, every week, every 6 months, every year. There should be something you're working towards. And I think that is the nature of life. And as the saying goes, is that if you're not progressing forward, you're losing or you're failing, because if you stay where you are, the rest of the world is moving forward. And that is my kind of outtake on things when I think of life, and I think of the company, and I think of my family, and I think of my my training, my exercise, and what I want to be, and the person I want to be. The other thing is that setting a target and an achievement, and achieving that goal, or even just a journey working towards that goal, is growth. Like, you are here for a limited amount of time. We all have a limited amount of time on this planet. And I think one of the best sayings I heard, and I can't remember who said it, I must look it up, is the day, now this is if you believe in God, if you believe in Jesus, you believe in there's a heaven or an afterlife, is that the day that you die and you get to the steps of heaven, you are worn. You are worn out, and you can thank God and say, I used everything you gave me. Now, I don't know, that's not exactly how it's said, but that's the kind of the thought process behind the quote. I can't remember exactly word for word, but I like that idea of using your body, using your mind, using your body physically, mentally, emotionally, to the point where you've used it all, you've experienced it all. And I think growth is a big part of life. And at 38, I'm still growing in my plans and what I want to achieve and what I want to do and where I want to be. Firstly, as a business, firstly as a father, as a husband, as a business owner, and just personally, like what my body's able to do. At what point am I too old for stuff, or what challenges lie ahead of me. Excuse me. And then to do those things, you need to put yourself outside of your comfort zone. And a lot of people nowadays, and this kind of new society, a new mental society of kind of just, it's okay being you, and it's okay not to try. And it's okay being you, you are you, but it's 100% okay to change that. I really believe that if you want to change, you want to change who you are, that is a positive thing. And this whole, oh no, you should be happy in your skin, you should be happy who you are, to a point. But if you're not happy with who you are, and if you feel there's more in you, then 100% 100% change it. Go, do something more, be something more, change it all up. But to change it all up, you must step outside your comfort zone to do that. So, like I said, the topic of today's show is cold showers and running. So we're going to start off with cold showers. Now, for anyone that knows me or follows me on Instagram or on Facebook, I've been getting in the ocean for 3-4 years. I say this year, the last say 12 months, I haven't been getting in regularly at all, but I do have a lot of cold showers. And at the start of this year, my challenge was have a cold shower every day for the rest of my life. Well, it's for the year, but it's going to be for the rest of my life. Have a cold shower every day. In that time, I have missed 8 days, 3 because I was sick and I didn't believe that actually I should be having a cold shower when I was run down and cold and sick. But I've had a cold shower every single day since. Starting off having that cold shower in January, February, the first couple of months was not fun. And every time you had your hot shower and you had to turn to cold, I didn't really enjoy it. Honestly, it was kind of getting a little bit painstaking. I was a little bit, I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck this. I want to just just stop, just have the hot shower, get out. And then there was, I listened to a lot of audiobooks and I listened to Jocko Willink's book. And I'm going to be mentioning 2 guys in this, and they're both former Navy SEALs. And I'm inspired by these people because I like their mindset and their etiquette. And it wasn't even, I think it was in the book, but I think it was more in a podcast I listened to him. It was, how do you keep going? And pretty much it was like, the day you don't want to train, or we're using training as the example here. The day you don't want to train, and you're just, I'm going to take the day off, I'm beat up, I'm run down, it's not for me today. That is the day you give yourself this rule. I'm going to train today, and if I still feel like shit tomorrow, I'll take a day off. But no matter what, I got to do it today. And this was the thing. And he goes, you go on, you train, and the next day you tend to feel better, and you will train again. But if you decide to take the day off, you've earned that day off by training the day before. And I like that mentality. So there was days where I was getting in the shower and I was turned to cold, didn't want to have a cold shower, wasn't really feeling great. I was just like, oh man, the last thing I want to do is have a cold shower. And then I was like, right, if you do it now, you don't have to do it tomorrow. Boom, to cold, did it. Guess what? Next day, I still did it. And I like that mentality of the day you really don't want to go, that's the day you go. And it's the next day you really don't want to go, then you take your day off. And then like that, when I heard that, I was like, and I've heard it a few times and I've heard it before, but I don't know what number that was when I heard it at the start of the year, but that was the one that kind of triggered me to do it. Now, when it comes to cold showers, I can't get out of a shower without a cold shower. It was actually one time I actually completely forgot. I was just in a rush, turned off the shower, got out, actually got back in to have the cold shower because I completely forgot to have one. I don't feel normal if I don't have a cold shower every day. It feels weird if I don't cool down my body. And I actually feel hotter in regards to just if I didn't have a cold shower, I just feel, no, it probably isn't, but my body feels like it's warmer, like that I need to be cooling my body down. Also, there is a point is that when you get used to cold showers, you get used to the cold more. That doesn't say I don't feel the cold, but you do get used to it. It's like people that go into the water all the time. You do get accustomed to handling cold weather more, and cold water and cold showers. One of the things that I would encourage people to do is that when they are setting a challenge, to set a challenge and do it for the year. It really is a thing for a year. I think it's a big thing. Doing a challenge for a month, I don't think it's a big enough challenge, unless it's like a really extreme challenge. But like having a cold shower was, I thought, really good. The benefits of actually doing that are like second to none. Firstly, it stimulates your nervous system. It stimulates blood flow. It awakens you up. You got to understand, when that cold water, there's something it just puts you right in the now. And when you're in the now, especially if you go into the water, cold water, like the ocean or in a lake, when you put yourself in something, it takes every emotion, every thought out of your head. And it's just headspace. It's beautiful. It is beautiful headspace. Once you calm your breathing down, it's beautiful headspace. And I do that, especially if I ever go to Glendalough. I always get in down in Glendalough, and every New Year's Day or every New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, we generally go as a family down to Glendalough, and I always get in, and it is amazing. Now, I don't always look forward to getting in, but when I'm in there, and you got to understand, like when I do the ocean stuff, and people go down and they swim, when you're swimming, you're thinking, you're doing other stuff, there's a lot of cogs processing. When I go down to the water, it's literally, I get up to my neck and I sit there, and I just let the cold surround me. And what I like about it is that it's the only point of the day for me, and even when I'm having a cold shower, where I'm not thinking about anything other than the moment in time. And for a lot of people with social media and work and life and COVID and all that stuff that's going on, we're constantly thinking, and you need a kind of to unplug for those like couple of minutes where you're just you and you. I think it's a really good challenge. I think it's a really good thing to do. And if you aren't doing cold showers, I'll never do cold. Look, you start off with 10 seconds on the front, 10 seconds on the back, you're done. Eventually, like I can do a 5 to 10 minute cold shower, no problem. Some days I only do 30 seconds, some days I do a minute, some days I do more, all depending. But it is a really, really good thing. I think, and then setting challenges that put me outside my comfort zone. Originally, when I started all this stuff, there was days I didn't want to go, and it was like I would do a good week, and then I'd have a bad week. And then eventually, when it came to this year, I was just able to kind of just keep going because it was like, it's what you said you're going to do. It's a little victory, and until you master that victory, that challenge, you don't add another challenge. So I'm just sticking with the one. A lot of people set goals and targets, and set a lot of goals and a lot of targets. Just stick with the one, because you're more likely to succeed if you just focus on the one rather than being distracted like a magpie to all the other things. The next challenge that I did this year was running. Now, running. Running is, if you know me, a long time, you know that my thoughts on running are, I think it's stupid. I honestly believed it was stupid. I think most people end up more injured from running than actually getting healthy. I think they end up stressing themselves out, but they're not. Again, that's because they're not prepping properly. I see people running, they're running badly. When I read a book on running technique and I see so many people running badly, I'm like, why the hell would you want to run if you're going to run badly? You're just going to compound yourself into an injury. And personally, I hated it. I really, 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 really hated it. And I kept challenging myself. Now, there was a time where, like years and years ago, I'd say be over 10 years ago, where I would run. I'd just run. And I use running as recovery. I'd do workouts, and then on the weekend I might go and just run 5K or 10K. And I never thought of it. It was never for time. It was just I went out and ran. And it was just one of those things I did. And then when I started doing the likes of CrossFit, and when I started doing weightlifting, all that stopped because there's too many other things. And I didn't have to run to get into shape, and I didn't have to run, and I realized you didn't have to run to be cardiovascular fit. So I stopped running, and then I actually became very resentful to any time that I had to run, like in workouts or just going for a mile run and seeing other people's times, and used to get very demoralized in my running. And then obviously I was gaining weight when I was a lifter, and then if I did run, it would hurt more. And I allowed it to become a thing where I would be like, I hate running. And for like any member of FSM or any friend that I have in regard, like when we talk about exercise, I would always give out about running and the hatred, sheer hatred. And the thing is, it was just my way of masking the fact that I wasn't good at running. Because realistically, when it comes to things that you're bad at, you tend to dislike anything when you're actually bad at. If you're really good at running, you tend to like running. If you're really good at swimming, like if you can't swim well, you tend to not like swimming. You tend to be like with the Olympic lifts, the snatch. Like if you can't, like you tend to like the power clean and not like the snatch until your snatch technique gets good, and then you don't really like the power clean, but you like the snatch because you're getting good at movement. But when it comes to things like that, and like I said, you dislike what you're bad at, and that's a common trait. And I allowed that to engulf me for well over a decade, where running was literally, I don't like to run. I hate running. Running's bad for you. This, that, and the other. But there was times over the year. I remember one year actually in January, I set my goal. I think it was 5 years ago. I set a goal. I signed up to the marathon. And I said, I'm going to run the marathon this year, and I'm not going to tell anyone. And I started running once a week. And I was running, I think I would run a couple of 100 meters to warm up every day for training. And then I'd run once, maybe twice a week. And I was running a couple of K here and a couple of K there. And I wrote out this beautiful program. And then I actually started running with one of the members, Jim. And Jim had run a marathon, and we ran a 5K, a couple of 5Ks, and then we ran 10K. And he was tough. If you want a running coach, Jim Martin is the man you need to talk to, because he takes no shit from you. One time I actually texted him, I think about 2:30, and we were meant to run at 4 or 3:30. And I texted him, hey Jim, stuck in work, just loaded up, not going to make a run today. He still turned up at the gym. He still pulled me out of the office, and he still made me run. So yeah, you needed an accountability coach. Jim Martin, definitely the man to go for. So I was running, and excuse me, I remember we ran a 10K, and we ran the 10K, I think just under 51 minutes. And he was like, well done, you just got to do that 4 more times and you got your marathon. And I was like, hell no, quit running after that day. No way, because of how fast I ran. Because I was running with Jim, and I was running at a pace that I'm not able to sustain. I was able to do, but sustain long term, no. So I quit again. And then I'd have little dribs and drabs where I'd be like, okay, I'm going to run. Okay, I'm not going to run. Okay, I'm going to run. Then this year, one of my goals with the cold shower was I was going to run once a week, because it was something that I've always said I wanted to kind of get back to, because there was a point in my life where running wasn't really a good thing or a bad thing. It was just something I did as recovery. And I was like, well, running was recovery, so why don't you get back to that mindset? So I bought runners in January, went to Amphibian King, got kitted out, beautiful, nice pair of runners. I was going to run once a week for a year, so 52 runs in a year, and that was the plan. And I think it was March before I started, I did my first run, and then I didn't do a run till April. In April, the kids were doing a challenge for the gym during COVID, so we locked down the gym. The country was locked down. The kids were running a mile a day for charity. They run a marathon, 26 days. I think I didn't even do a quarter of them, because I said I'd run with the kids, and I didn't. I just I half-assed it, to be honest, and I'll be honest with you, I half-assed my running. The kids did it though, and they raised like well over, I think, $5,000, $6,000. They did an amazing job, but I just kept putting it off. I kept using other excuses, and then I got to the point where I just kind of resigned myself that I'm not going to run. And then what happened was I started watching David Goggins videos. And I like David Goggins because he's a little bit of a no BS guy, and Navy SEAL, he's hardcore. And again, it's another Navy SEAL thing. And I like that kind of tough mentality thing, like watching Rocky and stuff, getting you motivated. And I remember Lee, one of our coaches here, Lee Gibson, he was reading, doing the audiobook of David Goggins. He was telling me all about it. He was telling me, this guy Goggins is crazy. And I said, I've listened to one or two of his podcasts, but Lee's listened to his book. And his book's very interesting because it's the first time I've ever seen a book where and I'm actually listening to it right now, is they do a chapter, but then David Goggins and the voiceover guy, I can't think of his name, the guy doing his voice for the book, they then break for a mini podcast on the chapter. So it's a really good insight into a book, so I highly recommend it. And it's so far, it's been a crazy, the man's gone through, like, it's crazy, and his mindset's deadly. But Lee was telling me about this book, and he said, go Goggins, go Goggins. And then I remember I watched a video, and it was a minute long. It was on Instagram, or could have been on YouTube, and it was him just saying, stop being a bitch, cop the fuck on, go get some, and the only thing that's stopping you from achieving your goal is you. And I was watching him run, and in that particular video, now I know he runs fast generally, that particular, he was just kind of trotting along. And I've seen those videos hundreds and hundreds of times, but that was the one that got me, and the same day that Lee was talking about the book. So I told myself, and at the time my dog was barking at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was waking up the whole house, and I was like, right, I'm gonna run tomorrow. I don't care. First thing I'm gonna do. So I got my running shoes and I brought them home, and generally I would give excuses. Like, I had all the excuses in the world not to run every time, and the next day was the best. I had every excuse possible not to get out that door. Firstly, I got up, dog barking, right? So I went downstairs, looked for my running shoes. My running shoes were not in the house. I left them in the car. Fuck. Then I was like, well, where's my car keys? Didn't I leave them in Susan's car when we went out for a walk the night before? So I was like, oh my God. And it was raining, and the dog wasn't really barking, so we could have went back to bed. And it was just one of those things, right? So in order to go running, I have to get Susan's house keys, car key, go into her car, get my keys, come back in, then go back out, get my shoes, get into my shoes, then go running. And I was kind of like, man, this is like absolutely no, like, it's every excuse not to do it. So I went, fuck it, I'm gonna go Goggins. And I went through, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but at 5:30 in the morning, it is enough to make you not want to do it. And I really didn't want to do it. But I almost just quit the whole thing, and then I just went, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna go. Went and got the shoes, did what I had to with the change of the cars. Then I had to try not wake up Susan or Jody. And then once I was ready, I went on my first 20-minute run. And literally set a timer, ran 20 minutes, 10 minutes out, and I ran 10 minutes back with dog. From that day forward, it's been about 6 weeks. I'd say I've missed now, again, I was sick for 3 days. Well, not sick, I just wasn't, stomach bug and stuff like that. So I've missed 9 days of running in the last 6 weeks. So I've missed a little over a week of running. And I tend to not run on a Wednesday, and I don't run on a Saturday because I have a training session, and then Sunday I run in the mornings as well. So I still don't like running, and that's the thing. I'm still not enjoying it yet. I think I've had 2 runs out of all that time where the running is actually where I was kind of like, oh, I've enjoyed that. I never enjoy the very start of it. I never enjoy getting out of bed. I never enjoy, that's the thing, like, I don't wake up going, hey, I'm going to run. And I don't think a lot of people wake up with that runner that are active, that wake up and go, hey, I'm going to run. They just wake up and go. And I like that mentality because it kind of stops you from going, oh, I'm not a running, or I don't have the mindset for running, or I don't have the mindset for training, or I don't have the mindset for eating right. Because most people don't want to do those things. They just go and do them because they know that it's going to make them feel better. And then someone was asking me why am I running now and what's changed? And I was like, you know what it is? I said, for me, it's in the morning when your alarm goes off, it's 3, 2, 1 up. That's the way I work it. It's a treat. Just get your ass out of bed. If you start thinking about it, you're going to think about ways to stay in bed. So I just gotta wake up, right? That's it. I'm done. I'm up. I'm gone. And that's any day of the week. Even on days off, I'm up well before 7 o'clock most days. It'd be very rare for me to be in bed after 7 o'clock in the morning on any given day. And why do I, like I was talking to him, why do you run? Why are you running now? And I was like, do you know what it is? It's the fact that the first thing I do in the morning is do something that I dislike. Now I'm assuming over time I'm going to start enjoying running more. And just because I get more comfortable with it and I just start to move better running, that I will enjoy it more. And I know that's it's eventually going to happen. And when that happens, I'm going to pick another challenge. I'm going to keep the running, but I'm going to pick another challenge. But it is doing something every morning that I actually would rather not do. And I'm forcing myself to do something. And the best thing about exercise, and any exercise you do, is that afterwards you get that endorphin hit, so you feel better. So when I wake up, I actually challenge myself to do something that makes me feel uncomfortable. And I find that mentally then going forward for the rest of the day, I feel better. And that it doesn't have to be running. It could be it could be gym training. It could be mixed martial arts. It could be anything that you ideally don't want to do. It's a challenge or it's a task that you must complete before you even start your day. And I think that is possibly one of the best ways to start your day. So if you're getting up and you're rolling out of bed, you're just rolling into work or you're just rolling into school and you're not alert and you're foggy-minded and it takes you a while to get into the flow of things, like that's a really bad way to start your day. Like when I come into work now, I'm like wired. I'm showered, wide awake, I've had my cold shower, the body feels good, I'm ready to have food, full of energy, fully alert, and I'm ready to sit down at the desk and then crack into emails or social media or whatever I gotta do. And I think that's a huge thing to look at. And then when it comes all back to it, whether having a cold shower or the running, challenging yourself is, again, it's growth. It's something that we need to do. It's something that I urge everyone that listens to this show or anyone I talk to set those challenges. They don't have to be big challenges. If it's running and you're not a runner like me and you hate running, literally, let me know. I'll hate running with you. But I'm looking at it differently. My mindset has changed. I'm doing it because I'm going to conquer something I don't want to do. That's what it is. I'm conquering something I hate. And if you're listening to this and it's your first time running, even 5 minutes from your door, 5 minutes back is a 10-minute run. It doesn't matter how long it is. It is the act itself. And over time, it will improve. And it just takes time. If you want to get more flexible, you do stretching all the time. You want to get stronger, you do the weights. You want to use it for intellectually, you read books. You educate yourself, you go back and do a course, you keep doing things. If you're struggling with something, make that weakness a strength. And I used to say that about injuries and training in the gym, is that if you do not work on your weaknesses, your imbalances, they will potentially become injuries. So we work on our weaknesses to make everything strong, rather than most people would tend to want to work on their strengths and keep their weaknesses there, and eventually there will be an imbalance which eventually will cause a problem. So if you're weak at something, make that your challenge. And it doesn't have to be this huge life-altering thing. It can be a couple of minutes a day. It can be a 10-minute run. It can be getting into the ocean every morning. It could be reading a book. It could be anything. It could be making sure your breakfast is the first thing in the morning that is healthy, because your diet's so bad that the rest of the day tends to be a write-off. Small challenges outside your comfort zone and go get it done. That's how we grow. That's how we become better. That's how we are able to give back, because then we understand the challenge and we can help someone else and we can pay it forward. So I challenge you to pick something. Pick something. Like my first one was the cold showers. Very easy. You just turn that down. And we're back. Camera file, our memory card went full again. I'm actually going to try and do a podcast where it doesn't happen. I think it happens nearly in every single podcast I do because I'm not monitoring my time. But yeah, wrapping up the podcast. Get outside your comfort zone. Pick a challenge. Doesn't matter what it is. And stick to it and commit to a year. Commit to a year of doing it. Like I did cold showers at the moment. As I said, I've missed 8. I've missed 9 of my runs. Well, not some of them. I'm not running the goal isn't every day. It is something I'm thinking about running every day, but I'm running at minimum 4 or 5 days a week. No crazy feats. It's 20 minutes. I've done, I think, 2 5Ks just because I decided to run 5Ks. There's no pressure on the run. The minimum is 10 minutes out of house, 10 minutes back, because I know that's something I can handle every single day. And yeah, like pick the challenge, and that's it. Keep it simple and just go, grow, be outside your comfort zone. And I think that is probably one of the best things you can do. And if you do that over the course of a year, you're going to see huge differences in, firstly, your physical wellness, your health, your mental health. And I honestly, truly believe that if you do something every day that is uncomfortable, you will only grow to be a better person. So guys, thank you for listening to the show or watching the show. Please like and subscribe. Click that button. Let me know your thoughts. If you know where I can get a memory card that actually can store for more than 30 minutes, that'd be awesome. Post comments below. But guys, thanks for listening to the show. See you all in the next one. Have a good day. Live, live, play. I am done.
You're listening to the Live, Live, Play podcast.